we really up to you pushed me forward. By the way,
just a little.
Just a little. You think that I don't notice? I notice, but I'm gonna pretend. That we're at Tuf Lamed Gimel.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, no, it's even I who was here last week. I know where we're up to, and that's not where we're up to. So, yeah. All right. Now, the point, this is always a painful subject to talk about something which we should understand and we have no concept of. Using a candle should improve your ability to see. Yeah, focus. Although it doesn't work like that for most of us, so we don't have the practice doing it. Now, in the olden times, like 20 years ago, so there were many poskim who advocated that people should use a flashlight instead of a candle, and hasechel hapashut is that they're right, because people don't know how to use candles, and what? I'll leave alone the fire hazard. They don't check well with that. They don't interact with it well. So that's its downside. But theoretically, according to many, it's supposed to be that the candle is a ner, and a LED is not a ner, and therefore it's a little bit problematic. However, there's what to rely on to use a flashlight. Some people at least do part of it with a candle. Each should do as they can. If you can do it with a candle, that's better. Okay. Now, v'lo la'or halafana, v'im avar v'lo badak lel arba asar, כשבוידק ויום 14 לא יבדק לו חמה or a ner. Even in the daytime, you should use the ner. V'achsadra she'or rav, in badka la'or chama dayo. If you have an achsadra, which means a place that's open on three sides, that's flooded with light, that's enough. V'huadin neged aruba shebacheder. If you have a skylight, then that's also good. So in other words, you have to have a real amount of light in order to allow it to be done in the daytime. And this is from the subjects, which is from the most painful things, the people who clean their kitchen and put the Pesach things in. They didn't do bedikah. So what do we do about them? We tell them on Erev Pesach to empty out all the Pesach things and do bedikah. What do we do with these people?
You're going to b'diavad.
Yeah, what do you say b'diavad?
What do I say b'diavad?
What do we say b'diavad?
B'diavad.
So, when I say b'diavad, most people, again, what I'm going to say right now is difficult because we don't live in the times of the pre-Formica times. We live in Formica times. And I'll just say, imagine if you had to clean a park picnic table for Chometz. Wooden. Is that any other kind of park ones?
Concrete.
Okay.
That's what they're doing now.
Oh, really? That's what they're doing? Okay, it's very easy, so you can't take them home. Yes. Anyways, so it's full of cracks and crevices and pock marks. It's a very difficult thing.
Painted, but the bugs get everything.
Painted. What?
Bugs get everything.
No, but if you would have that in your house,
Oh.
if you would have that kind of a item in your house, and therefore the El Yerabah says that a person, the places where he stores his food, he should not use. He shouldn't even kosher. And even if he koshers it, if something fell on it on Pesach, not to eat it. In other words, he'll just, there's no way. It's not going to happen that you're going to get it clean. Now, obviously, he wasn't talking about our Formica surfaces. In other words, he was talking about the given of 400 years ago, which is not what we have today. And therefore, obviously, the halacha would be different. However, the minig in Klal Yisrael is the people line their cabinets. Why do you line your cabinets?
Because that's the minhag of Israel.
That's right. No, I believe that's the answer to the question. We do it because that's what we do. But there are reasons to do it. One of the great reasons, and so far I never had this problem when someone says, I didn't do bedikah on my cupboards in my kitchen, so I said, did you line them? They say yes. I said, if you line them, that's okay. Why? Because there's not going to be any major pieces over there, and the Chazon Ish and others say as long as you put a mechitza, something there that you can't get to the Chometz, so then you don't have to make a bedikah. So if you papered your closet, so then it can, according to some poskim, pater you from making a bedikah there.
When you said you didn't make a bedikah, it means you didn't clean it?
No, you did clean it.
What? You did clean it?
You did clean it. Do you clean your house for Pesach beforehand?
Obviously, yeah.
What? Do you make a bracha on the bedikah?
Yeah.
Why?
Beforehand or on that night?
That night.
Because that's what we do.
I definitely can't argue with that. I would just like to share with you something which is fascinating.
Well, we also put out the pieces, so there's something.
Yeah, well, you'll see that Ramah was going to tell us.
Do you have to line the cabinets? If you just.
You don't have to line them. You have to make a bedikah.
You have to open up the cabinet and make a bedikah?
Yes. There are some people, many people, on not the night of bedikah's Chometz, whatever day it is that they clean their cabinets, they wait till the night and they make a bedikah with a candle, and then they put in their Chometz, their Pesach things.
Without a bracha?
Without a bracha.
I never heard that.
That's why you're here.
Wait, so I take the cabinet, I wash everything down with bleach and everything, and put it back in, and then I have to take a candle to it also?
Mm-hmm.
No, before you put everything in.
I'm saying I put the shelf back in.
Put the shelf back in, right?
And then after that, I have to look with a candle.
Well, I will tell you, probably the shelf that it was taken out, I don't think you have to check it.
No, but I mean, it's the whole inside we go
Right.
over with
Correct.
bleach. Okay.
Just like the floor of your house. You make sponge gedela. You're a Jew, right? Even though before I came to Israel, I never made sponge gedela, but it's one of those important minhagim that we have, right? And still, we check the floor. We check the corners. Now, there's a lot to be discussed on this issue, but this is the simple halacha. The simple halacha is that a bedikah should be done on the closets some nighttime beforehand, and
Where does it say that in halacha?
1 second. 1 second. I'm going to answer your question, but first tell me what is the it that you're talking about.
That idea, what we're just talking about, the fact that after you clean it, you have to take a candle and you have to check it.
Can I answer your question? Is your wife an Eishes Chayil?
Sure she is.
Does she clean for Pesach?
She's listening. Huh?
Does she clean for Pesach?
Oh yeah.
Do you make a bracha on the bedikah?
Yes.
Bracha levatala.
Probably.
Do you understand the question I just asked you?
Definitely.
So, I don't know why is her cleaning the kitchen cabinet more meaningful than her cleaning behind the couch. And not only that, I'm going to go on to the offensive and tell you something which is really going to unmask this spoof that people have. If it wasn't that you put Pesach ticket things in there, you would have absolutely no objections. People check their drawers in their bedroom, and you don't have any problem. Even though your wife took all your sweaters out and folded them and put them back in. Right? But you have a problem with me telling you they have to check the kitchen cabinets.
I'm not saying that you can't check it. Fine, you can check it. The checking it is, as Baruch said, you went, you cleaned it and all that, you put everything back, there's no covers in there. Why do you have to take a candle in order to do that?
I would like to ask a question. I would like you to stand in front of all of us over here, so to speak, tell me, what do you check in your bedroom on the bedikah Chometz night? No. I didn't ask you why. What do you check?
The drawers. 'Cause
Did your wife
maybe
clean
I put
those
candy-
drawers?
Maybe I put candy in there.
Did your wife clean those drawers?
No, she won't touch my drawers.
Okay.
I got to do it.
1 second. That's not done. But 1 second. But you check places that your wife cleaned?
No.
You don't check places that your wife cleaned?
No, why should I? I know she did. She did a good job. Why should I go and look it over? Not only that, but if I do look it over, she'll go and say, "Why are you looking it over?" It's I just cleaned it. So I want to avoid that.
Okay, so first, when your wife tells that to you, I'm going to help you as a marriage counselor right now. When you tell your wife, I looked for the keys and they're not where you told me they are. So she says, I'm going to go and look for you. You say, why are you doing that? I already looked. You think you can stop her?
No.
Okay.
That's so unitive. I only worked in that direction.
Whatever. But the answer to the question is that bedikah Chometz has a teken to it. It has to be done with a candle. It has to be done at night, and it has to be done in a certain way. If you didn't fulfill the obligation, b'pashtus, you were not mekayim the mitzvah. You have to make a bedikah. There are achronim, who go so far as to say that even if your guy cleaned it and it wasn't for 3 days before Pesach, could be your partner from making bedikah Chometz altogether. I don't understand, Bemet. I believe that we are not having an honest conversation. What are you checking in your house, bedikah Chometz night? I don't believe it that those places your wife didn't clean. Whatever you're going to say, I don't believe it.
That's why you have to put out 10 pieces.
No.
No? Because most probably you cleaned every place, but in order to be able to fulfill the mitzvah of that, say not be a bracha b'akala,
no, absolutely not. This is incorrect. And I understand why you're saying it. I'm happy that you're bringing up the point. What you're saying is incorrect. The reason why you have to do it is because put out the 10 pieces, because maybe you're not going to find anything. That question, maybe you're not going to find anything, would be even if your wife didn't clean. It has nothing to do with whether she cleaned or not. Maybe you're not going to find. So therefore you put something out so to make sure that you will find something. But not because there was cleaning done. Notice right now here in this shul, nobody cleaned it. This room right now for Chometz. I'm pretty sure that I will not find any Chometz in here.
Where?
In here. In the base matters.
I don't know, depends. Maybe somebody from Mincha came in here with a child and had potato chips or something like that.
Cubbies have.
Maybe in the cubbies. Maybe.
Okay.
But then also my clothes drawers. I don't put chametz in my clothes drawers.
So you don't have to check a bedikah Chometz night, and your wife doesn't have to fold the sweaters either.
Right.
That's what we discussed. Any place where you never put chametz, you don't have to check.
If I take the kitchen cabinet and I bleach it out and do it, right now it's not in my kosher chametz.
How do we?
How long ago did there have to be chametz there to make it in my kosher chametz?
I'm going to answer the simple halacha. I'm going to answer simple halacha. I will, if you want, I will show you people who try to say something like you're saying. The simple halacha is any place that there was vaday chametz there is mechuyev in bedikah Chometz. Period. The end.
Okay, and after I wipe it out and I look around to see if I left anything, that's not enough.
No, because bedikah Chometz has a formula to it, and you didn't fulfill the formula.
Can I tell you a true story?
True story. Okay.
I clean my refrigerator.
I hate true stories. Yeah.
I clean my refrigerator out each year for chametz, right? And but I've got children in the house, and what happened? It's happened to me twice. Where when I was looking for chametz, that I look in the refrigerator, and what did I find there?
You find it.
A sandwich. Chametz.
A sandwich. Okay.
Kids, you didn't plan for them to put the chametz in the fridge, but they did. And so you have to look in those places again, even though they've been cleaned for chametz.
Okay, but there's I appreciate what you're saying, but you happen to have small children. A person who has only adults living in their house, and you tell them not to do something, presumably they'll listen. I don't know. Presumably, right?
Well, especially that cabinet that it's cleaned and closed and tape is on it. No one's gonna put anything in there.
I'll just
And it says out there, Chometz. Don't touch this.
Yeah.
Go to a Pesach already.
I would like to read halacha right now, and I would ask both of you people to get me the Art School translation. Taf Lamed Gimel Sif Yud Aleph. I'm going to read. Hamachabed Cherdoi B'Shloisha Oser B'Nisan U'Mechaven Livdei Kachometz U'Levaroi. You did this for the purpose of bedikah Chometz. V'Nizer Shelo Lahachnes Sham Od Chometz. Af Al Pi Kein Tzarech Livdei B'Leil Arba Oser. I didn't write it.
So that means that Untitled Chapter, if you have 50 cabinets, you're going to have to open up every one of those cabinets.
But if you do it beforehand, the wife cleans.
I'm going to read right now the Mishnah Berurah on that. Just like, since I don't like to leave with people having tinus on me, I'm much happier when you have tinus on Rabbi Avrohom Kagan, because he'll probably forgive him quicker. You know why? Because he's not alive. If he was alive, it would be a different story. Says the Mishnah Berurah. U'mechaven. That you didn't do it with intent to do it for Pesach. You did it. Doesn't help. That's one. You did everything kafi hateken. Gam kein tzach lachzor v'livdor palayla k'chol Yisrael. Shaloi lachalek ben bedikah lebedikah. V'chol zeh b'shus hadeshen. V'fi ma shekasavnu le'il sefalef devlav achi ein lismach habedikas hayom. Afilu hoyel or haner. She'haner einu meir b'yom. Kol kach kemo halayla. So, okay? So, I wanted to just say, I don't think I said anything that it doesn't say. I think I was fair to the text. Rotten. So you gotta go.
Okay, so what do we do now? We have a cabinet we clean out the week before, and we go shopping for Pesach and fill up the cabinet with Pesach stuff. We have to take it all out, then you dial it and check it?
I said, I give you two other options. One
He
option.
says even if you wrote it.
I said, I give you two options. One is that you do it la'or haner kafi takanas habedikah on Rosh Chodesh Nisan.
Okay, he doesn't say that.
It works out like that too, according to him. It says, well, we'll see. When you're doing it the kafi ateken, and two is if you do, or Nisan says, if you paper it, then you could overcome this issue. So I would say that most people paper their closets. Is that you paper your closets? Okay. And I would just like to say something which I believe in 10 years' time you could say you heard it here first. In 10 years' time, people already stop papering their closets. And then they'll ask their grandfather, how come you didn't do bedikah? He said, because I was saimach on the fact that I papered it. And this halacha will be lost. There are many things which people do, and their children don't assume, or they assume that they have the full understanding of that which is being done, and they don't. And there could be nafkaminas like this. Anyways.
So let's say I do paper my things, but let's say if I don't, I just after I clean it, take a flashlight and look around.
At night.
At night, yeah.
Yes, that's it. It's good enough.
Okay.
It's not your big deal.
Yeah,
it's just you have to do it. You have to.
And you have to time it well.
Yeah. I have a guy that he has all the shelves. He has things that are on wheels. He rolls them out and does it on his merpeset that he can do it in the daytime. That also works.
And if I have the room in the house that has no outside windows, it still has to be at night.
I think so. I can't answer that question without saying goy plug. We don't find that they say pull the drapes and it works.
That's not. No, this is not drapes. This is.
I understand.
Mamash.
No, I understand, but we don't find that they were. They don't find it. I can't. I apologize. I don't have anything better to say than that. Than the loy plug.
How much after sunset would you say is the earliest?
According to some, Ben Hashmoshes is already enough, but the minig is Yidav Meyer first.
Or the tomorrow first?
That's the minig is to the Meyer first.
Even if it's, let's say, an hour between. If I daven at Ma'ariv at 9 and finish Rosh Hashanah at 7:07.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it earlier.
Going back.
What?
Going back to where we were.
Yeah. Betchilas Lel Arba Asur Nisim. In the beginning. That's what it is. Teikif Achar Tzeis Hakochavim. Sheyesh Adayin Ktsas Me'or Hayom. Roi Lahaschu Live. Like I didn't stop off and at this Mishnah Berurah beforehand, though this Mishnah Berurah is a totally amazing thing.
Which one?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
No, I'm gonna explain this to you, and I'm gonna prove to you that you do understand it. I'm gonna prove to you. When is it night? What does every good Jew know? When is it night?
Tzeis Hakochavim.
Which is?
Oh, when you see three stars.
No. You have to add in. You have to,
20 minutes.
you have to add in. You have to add in.
What type of stars?
Oh, right. What type of stars?
We,
3 kechovim beinim.
but we measure.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, 1 second. That means that when it gets darker, you could see kechovim ketanim. So Tzeis Hakochavim is not what we would call pitch black. It's still light.
That's in the sky. We're not checking the sky for Chometz.
I want to tell you something.
It's not going to make that much difference in your house.
That's a question. That's a question. 20 minutes after Shkia. What does it look like over here?
It's like a line.
It's plenty light.
Not plenty, but it's dark.
But even
The difference between 20 and 35 is gigantic. The difference.
There is zero, definitely. It's very quick.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Very quick.
but it's a 35. I didn't say 72. In America, until 40 minutes after Shkia, it's like 10 minutes after Shkia over here. 40 minutes after Shkia is, you know, let's put it this way. It could be 15 minutes after Shkia, and you still forgot to turn your lights on while you're driving. Right? No, that's the way it is. All right. So Tzeis Hakochavim. Now I'll read the line again, just because
Where are we reading?
I'm reading Sifkat and Aleph, Taf Lamed Aleph Sifkat and Aleph. Just this is the line, which is an amazing line. Pirish Teikef Achar Yitzias Hakochavim Sheyesh Adayin Ktsas Me'or Hayom. Right, which is conventionally we say that's a stira. We say with Tzeis Hakochavim there's no Hayom, and they just prove to you that that's not a stira, and you know that yourself. No, there is a little bit of that background light.
Well, he's saying that the Hilchos Pesach, he's saying that in Rodin or something. So it's not Eretz Yisrael. So
whatever Tzeis Hakochavim is, he wasn't discussing when Tzeis Hakochavim is, but the definition of Tzeis Hakochavim is not that it's as dark as it gets. Nobody says that it's as dark as it gets.
And is Shabbos over then?
Yeah.
If it's not that dark yet, and it's not fully,
Shabbos is over then. No, Shabbos is over then. Shabbos is over then. That's called the day changes, even though it's not fully dark. It's dark enough.
So it's just with Binyan Dioma. If I would have been in the eclipse path, I could have done bedikah then.
I'm not sure I understand why is that any different than what we're talking about over here.
I mean, it's not nighttime, obviously, but it's dark.
So it's any different than your halal. you have something which is blocking the sun. It's called drapes. What's the difference whether the drapes are a moon or the drapes are your... And by the way, it wasn't dark. Right? You have to see the ring.
Not here.
No, you have to see the ring. By the way, just like Stam, my Muzgar.
If you can look at...
You're not allowed to look.
No, then you can look.
It's like look at the Kohanim when they're beduchning.
They say even then you
When
shouldn't.
it's total, you can look. When it gets a little bit off, then you can't.
You want to take a chance like that?
Tov, Seder, I'm not gonna... I didn't drive to Maine or to Chicago, Cleveland. I was miskaber on my taivas. Okay? And I stayed here. Just imagine what schar I'll get. Anyways.
I have a false. It was a big...
Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. I just see that Mishnah Berurah. We're back to Taf Lamed Gimel Sifkat and Gimel. Shal Yoda Yochel Lachapes Heite Machbuois V'Churban Zdakim. But if you have the Achsadra, which is open place, then it helps. Otherwise, okay. Ein Bokil Or Avuka, Elul Or Aner, because when it's very bright, so then it pales things that are like in the nooks and crannies.
You also can burn down your house.
Yes. Okay. V'lo b'ner shel chelev, v'lo shel shumon, v'lo shel shemen, ela b'ner shel shaiva. V'hu yechidi, al shtei neres yachad, afilu kluyam dinan kavuka. Again, anything which is a conflagration, that kind of a thing, we would already be concerned.
It's conflagration because it flickers.
I think because it flickers. I think because but it's also very big. No, it doesn't give you the intensity the intent that's necessary. Okay. Habayde kol makaymes sheyesh lacho shevach nisa b'hem chometz. Lochein kol chadre habayis v'aliyas tzrichim bedikah. Why? Even though that's not your kitchen, that's not your dining room. Shepamo adam nichnas b'hem upita b'yodoi. Aval oitzes yayin she'enu mistapik b'hem. A person's storehouse that he doesn't take food in the middle of the meal from there. V'chein mat ben kayetze boy eino tzikim bedikah. Now, I would just like to make a statement about nowadays, and I would like to be chaylik on what it says in Shulchan Aruch. And Shulchan Aruch assumes something really strange, that people eat at meals. Nowadays, yesh safek if there's a thing called meals, but people are always eating. Right? In other words, there's no place that a person doesn't go without his chocolate bar. Right? It's a worker, a person who has something in his, a person. Let's speak about a person who has a detached garage. I don't know if they have those in England. They do?
Yes.
Okay. So if somebody would ask me, Bimei Chazal, do you have to check your detached garage? I would say no. Perhaps if you bring in food, from your car. But I'm saying, but that what? If you have I'm saying, but nowadays, people eat when they're doing. You walk around the house with food. Not you, but there are those. It happens. So just saying this over here, this halacha, which it says, is again assuming a certain reality.
I'm surprised because in a wine a wine cellar downstairs, I can see that somebody's in the middle of his meal.
That's true. That's not what it says. That wine cellar, everybody's masking. You have to.
Oh.
We're talking about the one that's not the one you're mistapik from, not the one that you mistapik that you.
So it's a long-term storage.
Right, right. Your storage locker. People have a storage locker, so you don't have to check that for chometz. But when I'm going to my storage locker, I have my bag of pretzels with me.
Right.
No, it's the reality. What?
Today, people would do.
Today, that's what I'm saying. Even though this halacha, it says here this in Shulchan Aruch, I'm not so inclined to accept it as correct in today's environment. I'm not arguing on.
People have to be realistic where they go with food.
Yeah. I'm just telling you. No, but what I'm saying is that people have no restraint today. Rav Nosson Kopshitz told me, this must have been 35 years ago. He told me this. I met him on Pesach someplace, and he told me that Lela Seder, Yushalayim, this only happened to Yushalayim because Yushalayimers, their kitel is not like our kitel. Our kitel does not have any pockets in it because you can't take it with you, right? The Yushalayimers, they have it's like one of their kinds of jackets, and it has actually pockets in it. And he said, this guy stuck his hand in his pocket in Leila Seder, and there was something there, and he pulled it out. It was a big piece of cake.
Is that Washington Heights?
What?
Is that must have been Washington Heights?
Where did they pull out of?
The packet, the kitel. He said he used
They
to
also?
check it. He took put a piece of cake on Yom Kippur. He forgot about it.
So this fellow was by a bris on Yom Kippur, and after whatever they took a so here you say I only wear my kitel on Yom Kippur.
Yeah, right.
So what should I check it for? If someone would ask you, you have to check your kitel, what would you say?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. So we already have two stories to.
But that's only if you have pockets in there.
Yeah, if you're in a pocket, then, right? Right. Yeah, obviously because there's something to check, but it's saying no. It's people make assumptions, and the assumptions are not correct. No, they fool themselves. Bemet, you understand? So I'm not being choilik on B'Shulchan Aruch. I'm just saying I don't think that's the reality that we have. Okay. And the Mishnah will discuss all kinds of.
No, but I'm still surprised the fact that again, in regard to he's in the middle of eating a meal, and wine was a staple there, and wine was like.
So that one water. You have to check. That's the one that you service yourself from. That you have to check. He's talking about the one your storage locker. Okay. There's a storage. These storage places. That's what he's talking about. Okay. Chori habayis vazizin haboltin me'aksolim she'enum gevoyim harbe v'lo nemuchim harbe tzrichim bedikah. All these kinds of crannies. Aval gevoyim she'en yaron magasham v'nemuchim pokos megivol tfachim and tzrichim bedikah because those were not used.
Wouldn't they be worried about kids with low ones?
Yeah, so you have to be worried about that. Okay, 100%. I'm going to. I want to get to halacha vav because halacha vav is extremely important. Gag yitzov ha'migdal shagei mishupayim mipnei kach ein gageim ru'in l'shum tashmish. They have slanty roofs, so you can't climb. They can't do anything there. Ein tzrichim bedikah afilu heim b'seich habayis. Why? Because they're not usable. There are many base medrashes that a person who has some kind of a surface that. Yeah,
you can barely get there.
Yeah, anything. Now I would just tell you there are many base fetishes that they have. They don't have any svarim shanks that look like this. All of them are on 45-degree angles.
Purposely.
So that
You can't leave stuff there.
you can't put storage.
Exactly.
Right.
Just right off.
So you don't have to check it for chometz.
Totally.
You don't have to check it for chometz. It's exactly what we're talking about.
That's not why they do it.
No, they do for what's wrong there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, refesh shel bakar einu tzricha bedikah shemay shom chometz habehemos yochluhu. This is a very strange halacha. Do they really eat everything?
A cat or a dog.
Refet shel bakar. I'm not really a big bucky in this, but this is the assumption. V'chein lo shel tarnagolim eino tzarich bedikah mipnei shemay shom chometz tarnagolim yochluhu. I don't know if it has to be, but anyways, but one can assume that that's what's going on. V'chein emtza shel chotzer she'ein tzarich bedikah. The middle of your chotzer doesn't need bedikah. Why? Shem hayasham chometz ha'arvim v'shar oifes ha'mitzum sham yochluhu.
But it's the same measure. They could be dropping things there too.
Oh, the first year I was married, I was only in my shver's house for Pesach twice. This is the first time I came back after this. My shver in his backyard has a lattice work arbor, and there are planters over there. And I think it was a Shabbos Chalamoid. I look out the window, and in the planter is a big bagel. A bagel, like, a bagel. And everybody saw this. What are you do? We put up a mechitza. We made a whole thing to take care of this problem. And then my shver comes down the stairs and he sees this apparatus in the kitchen blocking off the window. He says, "What's it all about?" I said, "What do you mean? In your house you have chometz over here. We can't look in it." He says, "What are you talking about?" And he moves it away, and there's no bagel. There's no bagel. And everybody is like amazed. And then 2 minutes later, like we're still like gaping at there, we see a squirrel come and deposit something else in that planter. Now, this was someplace on their Pony Express that they drop things off over there, and it could be there. So if you have such a service, you run such a Walt kind of a thing, then you have to know what. But here, this is the part that's important. So again, we've word the mutter lahasha chometz b'makom sha'ofes mitzuyah. You're allowed to send in there. Kol shekain sharach levar sham afilu chometz vaday ad achar zman isurah. Okay, so here it says you're allowed to put chometz in a place where you can assume that birds are going to eat it. This is very important. A person, and this negeya, this year it's not so negeya, but other years it's negeya, and I would like to take issue with this issue. First, I would like to say what I have to say as a observant human, not an observant Jew, as an observant human. People have ideas in their head which are not really based on reality. There are many people comes next Shabbos or this Shabbos that are already not going to eat in their living room or dining room because it's already clean for Pesach, and they're going to eat on their porch. Why are they eating on their porch? Because they're, I'm going to use the words that people say because I believe it's really funny because it's taka true. They're afraid of the crumbs, right? They're not afraid they may drop crumbs. They're afraid of the crumbs, right? What happens if there are crumbs? You just sweep it up. I see absolutely no reason why a person should have this paranoia. I don't get it. So one guy says, no, because I can close the door over there and contain my kids on the porch, and I can't contain them in the dining room. I said, really? You can't contain your kids? It's an issue to be dealt with. Right? We're talking about just eating, but echshahu. People eat chometz on their porch, and worse yet, and maybe this should be discussed now, worse yet, people eat in the cheder madrigot, and they think that they're absolved from the chashash of chometz. In the cheder madrigot, you're not absolved of anything. The cheder madrigot belongs to you, at least you're a shutef in it, and any crumb there, that's a crumb, that's a problem, is as much of a problem there than it is inside your house. Period. And any chometz that you have in your lawn, on your porch, is just as much a problem as if it's in your house. The only difference is if there's a real metzias that the birds are going to come and take it and eat it. So then you can assume that it will be automatically taken care of, disposed of beforehand. So I'd like to see this Mishnah Berurah because it's a fascinating Mishnah Berurah. Where are we? Lol, who adin karka bayis shatar legol b'tzu shom ein tzorch bedikah. Mikol makom tzorch lacha betachas habitois. You have to under the beds. iRobot. Ki lefamim nigar shomai der tarnagolim chaticha gedol shel chometz. They slept something there under the bed. Sheyesh lehem la'achlo. Oy l'siba acheres. U'makom shoichin kol hashana lekom shom tarnagolim. L'kuli yav tzorch livdok tachas hasol m'shechodes. You have to check under the kickboards. Shemotzu lipol shom chometz. V'yesham rav dika tarnagolim abayis kol she'achlo shom chometz samach lePesach. Havi k'mo chometz vaday. If you know there was chametz there, you cannot rely on the tarnagolim, because maybe they left something there. Ve'in safek achilas tarnagolim moitzi midei v'adai chametz v'tzorach bedikah kadin. This is the line that I want to learn. Then this means that if you ate on your porch, in my opinion, you have absolutely no heter to be soymich that the birds are going to eat it. So you're obligated to sweep your porch and dispose of the crumbs in a way that it's okay. All right. Abavade chometz, says Mishnah Berurah, lo yisavchinen al zeh. If you don't vada, you have chometz there, you're not soymich on this. Then something might say v'dei vadai. Kol shekei b'makom shamidim avozim belul shalahem u'menichel lefneim b'chutz oichel. That's no good. But so no, you can only rely on this if you don't have a vada, there is chometz over there. V'ayim b'magen avram shadayte d'mash echnitza shel chometz zman rav koydem ha'pesach v'samuch lePesach nishma shelo yipol shel chometz. If it was 2 months ago, then that's okay. Ain't tzarich le'ivdash. V'evshe dechol shloshim yoyim mikri samuch lePesach. Al das ha'makorchayim the dafka masha haya belil arba osa achash yigia zman bedikah the ozlo savchinan sha'ochlo oifos. Aval masha haya vadai koydem zeh lo mikri vadai chometz ve'ein tzarich bedikah. So a person who has a front lawn and you ate a picnic on your back lawn and your back porch, your back, your backyard, you have no right, according to most achronim, to make sure to not make sure that there's no crumbs in the grass.
That can go to the Ayalon Park.
That's fine. It's not yours. And you could also, if you have grass and you ate there, I have a very simple eitzah for you. Just turn on the sprinklers. That will make it. Yeah. No. There are ways to do, but I didn't say it's not able to deal with it. It's just not. You have to take care of the issue. Mm-hmm. You ate in your backyard on the picnic table. You're not potter. You can't just assume so, according to many poskim.